Hello. We have a number of things we want to discuss with you today. So welcome to Success International Training Institute, where we want to make you better than you were before yesterday, where we want to encourage you to be your best self. So without further ado, remember, if you have not yet subscribed to our channel, please do so. Leave us a comment and share this video. So what are we talking about today? I want to have a discussion with you. I want to share with you some simple steps to getting financial freedom. But if you stick around, I have a bonus section for you. You really don't want to miss it. So stay with us. Step number 1, create an emergency fund. This is a fund you will only tap into when there is a dire need. So it's not something that you're going to run to every time you need to go shopping, or you need to go on vacation, or you need to go buy some fast food. This is something you're going to set aside for emergency. That's why it's called emergency funding. So how much of your savings should you be setting aside in an emergency fund? I would say probably about 5% of your income. Now, it doesn't seem like it's a whole lot. That is because it's not going to be your only saving. Remember, it is only supposed to be used in case of emergency. So what does that look like? Take, for example, you earn $50,000 per month and you are setting aside 5%. That's $2,500. That's in Jamaican dollars, of course, or whatever the currency is. Now, that may not seem like a whole lot to some, but to others it may seem like quite a significant amount of money. So what you can do is to further break that down into weekly saving and or daily saving. That makes it easier for you to see smaller steps toward your goal. What you want to be able to do is to develop a consistent habit of setting aside some money. Remember, habits that we have developed over the years are not necessarily easy for you to break right away. You're setting up yourself for a future that is free from all the stress. You don't have to be counting every cent each time. You don't have to be going into the stores looking at every penny or the price on everything and determining, oh, I can't afford this. So you're taking gradual steps towards that. So that 5% may not look like a whole lot right now, but when you have an emergency, it is going to come in so handy. And that is why I'm saying to you that you build up that consistency in your approach to your financial future, that setting aside some money now is going to pay off in the long run. Step number 2 is for you to pay off your debt. So many of us have debts. It could be student loan, credit card, mortgages, loans that we have taken from family or friends. We just have debts. Sometimes we don't even know how it is we got ourselves into the debt situation, but we have it. So you're going to have debts that carries different interest rates. Some economists and financial analysts suggest that you pay off the debt that has the highest interest first, because those are usually more impactful. Fine? That's their theory. Another theory includes the human element. Now, I sometimes advocate for paying off the debt with the higher interest first. However, because of this human element, the debt that carries the least amount of interest rate may be the best one for you. Maybe that applies to your situation the best. So that is one that you probably will want to tap into. So the debt that carries the least amount of interest rate, if that is the one that applies to you, I want you to tackle that one first. Begin to pay that one down. What you're doing is encouraging yourself step by step, because the one that carries the least amount of interest, you're going to be able to pay that one off much faster. And what you're developing is some amount of confidence in yourself. Yes, you're achieving. So if that looks like the better plan for you, you work with that. If on the other hand, you feel that you're better paying off the one with the higher interest rate, go right ahead. Either way, what I'm saying to you is that you want to be in a position where you're not restricted or limited by the amount of debt that you have. Sometimes, for want of a better word, you feel strangled by these debt. Lay them down. Lay them out. If you're a person who deals with spreadsheets a lot, lay them out. Every single debt that you have built up over the years. What is the balance that you have on them? What's the interest rate? And begin to tackle them. Think about how free you're going to feel when you have paid off a set of your debt. And then you have that money that you can set aside, or you can do whatever it is that you want to do with that amount of money that is now freed up for you to use. So, one of the biggest debt that persons have, and which gives quite a bit of problems, is credit card debt. We go to the stores or wherever you go, you pull out a card and it's easy. You're using your card. But what you're really doing is restricting your freedom. What you're really doing is building up others. No, a lot of credit cards carry interest rate up to 49%. Think about that level, that amount of money that you have to be paid to the financial institution. That's a whole lot. Then here is another kicker. Many of us don't realize that we must be in a position to pay off the entire amount that we've spent in that particular period to really be making progress on our credit card. What is it that I'm saying? The financial institution usually gives you a minimum that they say you're to pay each time, whatever your credit card period is. If you simply stick by that minimum, I do not know that you'll live long enough to pay off that debt, because the balance that you owe is going to, the interest is going to be added to that balance from the very time the transaction took place. So, if you're going to clear your credit card debt, you must take steps to pay either all of it or as much as you can, but certainly do not pay the minimum amount. You're going to be in debt forever. Now, the other thing about credit card debt is that attached to that is something called existing applicable interest rate, and how that usually applies is when you don't pay your credit card debt, what the financial institutions usually do is to have a rating that suggests that you're more high risk, and therefore they apply a higher interest rate. That can actually go up to 55-54%. Now, that is taking out a whole lot of money out of what you need to be saving or to be spending on other necessities that you have. So please, pay off your credit card debt. That is another step that you need to take towards your financial freedom. A third step is for you to create a cushion. Yes, create a cushion. That is to set aside some money as best as you can. Set aside at least 6 months of your income. Put it aside. Now, what this cushion is supposed to do is to help you to alleviate stresses that comes if, for example, you are made redundant, if you have your hours cut or your salary cut for one reason or another. We are in now a pandemic That means that many workers are going to be facing reduced hours, reduced pay. That cushion is supposed to help you during these very difficult times. At least 6 months of your income. Now, the idea is you would have been living within your means, living within what your income can afford. So saving 6 months, certainly if you can do more, then that is even better. But what you want to do is to have something that if you should face struggles, if you are facing some financial dilemma, then you have that money to tap into. So create that cushion, and that's going to help you in the long run. So another step to financial freedom is saving towards your retirement. How many of us thought about the day when we would retire? I have many times. I want to retire. I know that once we're alive, we're going to retire. What it is that you want to do is to put aside money for that time that you retire. I truly believe that when someone retires, they shouldn't have to be knocking down doors to be working unless you really want to work for yourself or doing something, anything you want to do. You're supposed to have that freedom during your retirement age. So if you begin to save for retirement, that is how you're going to be able to really enjoy retirement. Otherwise, you're not going to enjoy retirement. You're going to be struggling to pay all your bills. Remember also that as we get older, we're going to face more financial bills. And so you don't want to have your family on speed dial, family or friends, when you've worked all these years. Put aside some money into a retirement fund. There are so many companies out there that offer good retirement plans. It doesn't matter how much you have to put aside now. The idea is that you're setting aside some money. Certainly, if you start earlier, it's much better. If you're in a position now to put aside more, and actually each time that you find yourself either with an increase in your income or you come into some more money for whatever reason, you may have started a business and it begins to make some profit, then you put aside more money. The plan is to start saving for your retirement now. Actually, many financial institutions and insurance companies offer retirement plans. So all you have to do is to take the step to really save, put aside some money, and you will not regret the day you have done it. The next step is to invest. Invest, invest, invest. Securities, bonds, and these I am suggesting you invest for the long term. 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, long term, because that is really when you're going to see the benefits. Not in the first 2 months, 3 months. You're going to see the benefits in those long-term investments. Now, in this pandemic, it may seem difficult, but remember, shares and stocks, the prices are lower now. So if you invest now, in a few years' time, the market is going to pick up. Difficult days do not last forever. So too are those positive days. They don't last forever. If you invest, what you're going to have is a period when the stock markets will bounce right back and you're going to be in a better position. You're going to have the advantage over someone who does not invest. Take responsibility for your growth. Take responsibility for your freedom. Take responsibility for your future. And you have to begin now. So do some investment. Look around. Do some research. What are the stocks that are available now for sale? It doesn't matter how insignificant the amount of money you have is. Do some investment. Put some aside into stocks, bonds, and you're going to See how it benefits you in another 5, 10, 15, 20 years, however long you leave it. The idea is to leave it for a long period of time so that it can multiply and increase your wealth. The next step towards your financial freedom is to become an owner. Many of us are purely consumers. We are going out and we are buying up everything, services, products, we're buying up everything, but we are not owners. If you're an owner, what you're really doing is ensuring you're keeping some of the money that you have earned. If it is that you're not keeping that money, you're really just a consumer. So for example, buy the house, you rent out the house instead of you continuously renting. You may decide to develop a product instead of simply consuming every product that you see, and you are applauding these other entrepreneurs, but really you're not doing anything for yourself. Decide how much of your income you need to keep and be an owner, not purely a consumer. Of course, we're all consumers, but if you're always going to be a consumer, entirely a consumer, you are reducing your position in your path to financial wealth. So we want you to recondition your mind. Recondition your mind to own rather than to simply consume. Finally, gratitude. Do you know how enriching it is to be grateful, to have a heart that is grateful and thankful? That is wealthy. That is freedom. It gives you the freedom to think at a higher level. It gives you the freedom to do things without the burden or the baggages from the past. So, find things that you ought to be grateful for. All of us have that. The opportunity to give back, to volunteer, to help someone who is in need. Do not just be a taker in life. Be a giver. You're going to find enrichment. You're going to find happiness. You're going to find that you're at peace. Be grateful for the things that you have now. It doesn't matter how small it seems. It doesn't matter how you think things are challenging with you. Think about others. If you dwell, for example, on those things that are negative, you're always going to be in a financial difficulty. That's the bottom line. You're always going to see things in a bad light. But if you begin to harbor positive thoughts, if you begin to surround yourself with persons who have a more positive approach to life, I'm praying you will adopt that kind of thinking as well. Quit beating up on yourself. Quit going back into the past and reliving it day after day and regretting, oh, I made this decision, it was a bad one. Oh, I didn't do what I was supposed to have done. I didn't achieve. Quit all of that. Be thankful that you're here today and you're going to do a whole lot better. Be thankful that you have all the opportunities ahead of you. Be thankful that you woke up and you are able to breathe and to think and you are conscious. Just be grateful for life itself. And that is so enriching. That is freedom in and of itself. How much more can you ask for? So, you stuck around with us. Thank you for staying with us. Here is the bonus that I promised you. Now, I told you about 7 steps to getting financial freedom. 7 simple steps. But the bonus is, you cannot earn your way into financial freedom. You have to compound your way there. You have to build and allow all these steps to grow. Grow each time. What you're doing you have to be consistent, you have to be intentional, and you have to be disciplined. Those are bonus steps that you must take. Develop the habit of saving. Develop the habit of being grateful, of setting aside funds, not looking back at it for a long period of time. Those are approaches you must take. Be disciplined, be intentional, and be consistent. Train your mind with those simple steps and you will get there. Thank you for watching. If you've been with us for a while, thank you so much. If you are new to this channel, we welcome you wholeheartedly. Now, I really want to hear your thoughts on these steps. I want you to like this video. I want you to share. And more importantly, I want you to subscribe. We are building a generation of persons who are financially free. We are building a generation of persons who know what it is to really enjoy that financial freedom. Thank you.